A disturbing one. A new federal report predicts Russian intelligence services and police from Russia will help cyber criminals operate with near impunity against targets, including against Canadian targets in the coming months. That's what we're hearing now. The Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity says Russia acts as a safe haven for cybercrime. The assessment is warning against high-value organizations being the targets of ransomware, which will likely have financial effects. We know, of course, the Russians have been up to this for a long time. And as Canada has been a staunch ally of Ukraine, it continues to be in the sights of the Putin regime. Let's bring in Sami Khoury, the head of the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity. He is in Ottawa. Sami, good to see you. The significance of this report, walk us through it.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and thanks to be with you on this show. So we issued this report today to bring light to the whole cybercrime challenge. It's something that we have been talking about for a number of years. We issued a warning in our National Cyber Threat Assessment that came out last October, but we wanted to put a special spotlight on cybercrime and to get Canadian business to pay particular attention to that, to take the necessary steps to protect themselves and to raise their cyber resilience, because it can have devastating impacts on our daily lives.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the Russian connection here, Sami, as best as you understand it?
Many of those cyber criminals need a place to operate, and we have over the years identified that some of them operate in Russia, maybe some of them also operate in Iran, and they operate with near impunity over there, because for as long as they don't target, Russian citizen and the Russian regime, the Russian will turn a blind eye. So they have safe haven in operating in some of those places from which they can conduct their ransomware campaigns.
What kind of crimes can we expect here? Yeah, typically.
Sorry, what kind of crimes? Or
yeah, in what way will people be targeted?
So there are many ways. I mean, some of it might be a target of opportunity, but more and more they're getting sophisticated and going after. Those criminals have no scruples, so they will go wherever they can make money. And the idea being that they are getting more sophisticated at picking those companies, picking those businesses where they know that the downtime of a cyber attack will have significant impact on Canadian lives. And they would often go after those and ransom them to say, recognizing that every minute of downtime costs money or has an impact.
Sami, can I ask you what percentage of cybercrime affecting Canadians comes from foreign sources like Russia or Iran?
Many of the ransomware campaign are coming from there. We know which groups are the most active groups in Canada, and we keep track of that. I don't have the stats handy to say which group contributes to what percentage, but the important thing is our role of the Cyber Center is to warn Canadian business to take care of themselves, to raise their cyber resilience, irrespective of who's the group behind them and irrespective of from where they are coming.
I know that today's report said that last year cyber fraud cost Canadians more than $500 million. Is that an accurate picture of the cost of cybercrime, given that, as you know, Sami, a lot of it does go underreported or not even reported at all?
Yeah, that figure actually is, I would probably think, is a kind of the low end of how much it costs. Cybercrime, and especially ransomware, is significantly underreported. And we want companies and Canadian businesses to reach out to us when they fall victim of one of those. We want to help them. We want to support them in their recovery. But we also want to learn about what happened. How did they fall victim? What IT is vulnerable, so that we can warn the rest of the rest of the sectors with updated advice and guidance. So there is value in reaching out to us. We don't tabulate the financial impact. I would probably defer to the RCMP and maybe the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. We are very much concerned about ensuring that the IT is secure and that we have put out our latest advice and guidance to reflect the latest vulnerabilities out there.
One last question. I know there's legislation, Sami, working its way through Parliament to require federally regulated companies to comply with certain cybersecurity measures. In your mind, is this enough to protect our country's economy, infrastructure, national security? Because I know in your report, you warn cyber criminals will almost certainly target major organizations in Canada over the next 2 years.
I think it's important that businesses, big or small, take cybersecurity very seriously, and that incidents are reported because we want to learn from these incidents. So the bill that's before Parliament right now will impose some cybersecurity requirement on some federally regulated sectors, and also some reporting requirements to us and to the regulator. And we hope to learn from these incidents and support those companies in their recovery too. So it's definitely something we look forward to once it passes, to work with the regulator and businesses to make sure that we raise our national resilience.
Sami Khoury joining us from Ottawa. He's the head of the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity. Thank you for this. Much appreciated.
Thank you.